Hello Journey friends, and welcome back to this week's Along the Journey. Today we are along hole number 14 at the lush fairways of Adventure Landing here in Winston-Salem. And I gotta say, I love me some mini golf. I can't even count the number of times, how many rounds we played as a kid at my home course at Starkey Park, Seguin, Texas, or all the times with friends at the beach, at Gatlinburg, all those massively themed miniature golf courses. You guys have played them, you know what I'm talking about. But especially as a family, the memories of our children. I mean, it's a great activity for kids of all ages. And I love me some putt-putt. And yet, for as much fun as we've had at miniature golf courses, there's one not so fun memory in our family when it comes to the entertainment complexes like this. When our girls were in elementary school, we had planned a birthday party for them. That's exciting, right? You get the room, you get the cake, you get 5,000 arcade tokens and unlimited golf, and just go have a blast. Well, the week of the party, there was some behavior around the house that warranted punishment. Minor punishment, but hopefully that would correct the behavior. It did not, and I think you know where this is going. The communication was clear that if the behavior did not change, that the party would be canceled. And so yes, the party was canceled, unfortunately. I mean, nobody liked that. Our daughter especially, her friends, her mom and I. We certainly felt for her, and it wasn't pleasant. But you know, often that's the way it goes when we have a mindset of training up our children in a way that is spiritually mature, in a way that follows biblical instruction and a balanced philosophy toward maturity. And this week, our final week of God-honoring parenting, we look at those corrective measures and that corrective aspect of discipline and its role in raising up our children. So as we study this week, we're going to see that much of the material is grounded in the Proverbs, these general truths that, if applied, provide a proverbial teaching and lesson. And one of those is Proverbs 19:18, where it says, to discipline your children while there is still hope, while there is still time. Otherwise, it will lead to their own destruction. It will lead them astray. Proverbs 29:17 says to discipline your children that they may give you peace, that they may give you rest. That's a wonderful thought, isn't it? And then we're going to see the relationship of God and his children. David says in Psalm 23 that both the rod and the staff comfort him. Both the discipline and the care give him comfort. And so 3 key takeaways this week. Well, number 1 is this. In your truth section, you're going to see that there are 12 principles. That's the bulk of the week. And you're going to notice that only one of them really speaks specifically to the types or forms or manner of punishment. And I think that speaks volume, because as we look at the other 11, what we're going to see is, are we pure in our motive for discipline and correcting our children? Do we have a goal? Are we clear in communicating that with our child? Do we follow up after discipline? In other words, does our discipline also comfort our child? Are we consistent from parent to parent? Are we aware when a reward becomes a bribe, which we should steer clear from? So really good principles to take note of throughout the idea of correcting in a biblical manner. Number 2 is this. I've mentioned this several times throughout God-honoring parenting, and that's that this section is not intended for us to judge other parents. It is not intended to say that there is a very narrow way to correct our children. With a biblically balanced approach, there is variation and there is enough space for us to have different styles and approaches to correcting our children. Very, very important this week is to reflect on our own home and our own children, those within our circle of influence and care, and how we will now apply Scripture, how we'll provide counsel and wisdom and discernment and prayer in correcting our children. So please pray for the other parents. Pray for grace, again, from maybe past parenting, your own, or that of your parents or grandparents or caretakers. And make sure you realize that and take note of that. It's very, very important. And then the third key point this week is this. This is the last section. This is the last unit within the Green Journey year. I'll have a wrap-up video next week to sort of speak to the now what, but this is the week to talk as a group about plans for the fall, for the Blue Year, to speak specifically to living life on mission throughout this upcoming break, and to again pray for one another, that in all that we have taken in this year, we may now go and be sent and live that life on mission with a greater knowledge, but also a greater, stronger relationship with God. And until then, maybe I'll see you out here at one of the 3 courses at Adventure Landing, and have a wonderful time along your journey. I love me some putt-putt, friends. Blessings.